All right, there we go. All right, good afternoon. Welcome to our Mayor and Council meeting for the City of Carrollton, our October 7th meeting. And I will call the meeting to order. It's now 6 p.m. If you'll all stand and we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dr. Landrum, would you be so kind as to do our invocation?
Bow your heads, if you will. Gracious and wonderful Almighty God, we come to you right now just to say thank you. Thank you for your goodness and your mercy. Lord, we pray right now for all the victims of Hurricane Helene, dear God. We ask that you give comfort to those affected, dear God. We thank you for watching over this community, dear God. And we pray that your Holy Spirit will be evident in all that we do, so that everything we do here tonight will somehow bring glory to your name. Keep these council members uplifted and encouraged. In the precious name of our Savior, I pray. Let every heart say, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Dr. Landrum. Still don't see that guy. Okay, at this time, we'll have citizens' comments. The only person we have listed is Mr. Gerald Drollett, and I don't think he's present. Okay, the next item on your agenda is the minutes from our September meetings. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any questions or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none, motion carries. The next item on our agenda is our mayor and council announcements and comments. Councilmember Gibbs, we'll start on your end this time.
Good evening. I know we've all had everyone in our prayers and our thoughts with Hurricane Helene, and I just wanted to say that I know there were a lot of organizations that raised funds and collected, but I had the privilege of going out to Walmart where Southwire was set up, and I actually kind of waited in a drive-through just to get up to donate. So I think that's a testament to the city we live in and the people here. So I just hope if anyone had family there, my thoughts and prayers are with you.
I'll add to that sentiment that, it's been a devastating time for many, many people, and it's just great to see the outpouring of support in our community and across the state and in our region. So thank you.
And with another hurricane in the Gulf about to hit the state of Florida, so pray for them. We've got family there right in the line. In the good news side, though, we had a tremendous night last Thursday night at Taste of Carrollton. Thanks to everybody that came and all the restaurants that participated. That is really a fun event that we look forward to every year. And that's all I've got.
Good evening. I just want to say we do have a lot of amenities in the city of Carrollton, and everybody needs to just come together and just enjoy all the fun things we have in our community. We have a rhythm and blues festival in September. It was awesome. So I would like to see more people just get around in our community and just enjoy the city that you live in, where you can live, learn, love, work, and play. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to the staff that puts on the Taste of Carrollton. And the reason Bob enjoyed it so much is he got to be one of the judges. So he got to taste everything. And Jacqueline, too. Yeah, okay.
And I would say all the restaurants were winners.
Yeah, I didn't taste anything that wasn't good. But as Council Member Bridges said, we do have a lot of things going on in our community. got Friday night football, and this weekend, and this Friday night is the homecoming. And we've had concerts, and we will have the tribute to Aretha Franklin is next, the 18th, yeah. So that one got rained out, and we were able to actually reschedule it. And then for the little kids, we're going to have our pumpkin decorating contest at the AMP. So there's something for everybody, and we appreciate that. We appreciate the staff and the wonderful job they do, and that includes everybody, our street department, our police, our firemen. All those people come together to help us do things, and we really do appreciate that. And again, I will say my thoughts and prayers are with the people in North Carolina and Augusta and South Georgia. We had somebody near and dear to us that had worked for us. Her house was severely destroyed, and but they were fine, so that's good, and we appreciate that. And I did talk to the Georgia Power, our Georgia Power representative today, and she said there was still some power. They had gotten some power back on again this weekend, but a lot of the linemen were being sent to Florida now and trying to get through to North Carolina. So it's just been a real tragedy for our state and the state of North and South Carolina also. Okay, Mr. Brooks, do you have any announcements?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. Just to echo what everybody said about the events that we have downtown and the things that we're able to do. I know we had Taste of Carrollton on Thursday night. We had a Locals Live on Friday. Then we played the Georgia-Auburn game at the AMP on Saturday afternoon. And that's the same staff does all of that, the same department. So they work really, really hard. And in discussing, talking about the hurricane, definitely our thoughts and prayers are with everybody that was affected. But I want to give a shout out to our public safety first responders. We met a day prior, 2 days prior to hitting to just I wanted to know what we were doing in anticipation of it possibly being a devastating storm hitting us, and just the preparedness of our folks from our water department, wastewater, fire department, police department, engineering, being ready to respond and not being reactive but being proactive is pretty impressive. So just know that your first responders and your essential workers for the city, they go to bat for you every day. So I'm proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, thank you. All right, do I have a motion to approve the agenda items for consideration?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none, motion carries. Our first item on our agenda is a proclamation proclaiming the month of October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And for any of you that have never dealt with the victims, this is, and the actual, I guess, the protruder in the group, it's just really, really hard. And a lot of times there's family involved, and it's real sad, but we are so blessed to have the Domestic Violence Center here that we have. It's been here for a while. We have a great board. They work really hard, and we're a part of a bigger organization. And so we are very fortunate to have the people we have here in our community. And y'all serve Heard, Carroll, Harrelson. Yeah, so that's a large area to serve. But at this time, I'm going to read the proclamation, and then we'll have both groups come, and I'll make a presentation. Domestic Violence Awareness Month, October 2024. Whereas millions of Americans face physical and emotional abuse at the hands of their significant other each year, and whereas domestic violence defined as abusive behavior in a personal relationship, and in a lifetime, 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men experience severe violence at the hands of an intimate partner. And whereas these crimes violate an individual's privacy, dignity, security, and humanity, making it all more important for state, local, and community partners to work to eliminate this type of abuse and to provide necessary services, including emergency shelters, advocacy education, awareness, and resources to ensure that all victims are empowered to achieve self-sufficiency, whereas domestic violence can affect anyone regardless of their age, race, gender, or social economic status, leaving an impact on thousands of individuals and families across Georgia over the years. And whereas organizations across Georgia are working to end domestic violence and provide the support survivors need to find their voice, while law enforcement remains committed to ensuring justice is served to individuals who harm those who trust them now. Therefore, I, Betty Cason, Mayor of the City of Carrollton, do hereby proclaim October 24th as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the City of Carrollton. In the witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand the 7th day of October in the year of our Lord, 2024. And today we have our local director, Deborah, and I'm sorry, I forgot your last, Johnson, and I just spoke with her this afternoon. And then we also have an advocate for the whole area, is that correct? For domestic violence? All right.
I'm with Community Family Violence Prevention.
Yes, okay, all right.
I'm a survivor of family domestic violence.
Yeah.
And I use my crime victims compensation to start an organization that is privately funded in 2016. And as they said, we have 159 counties in our state, and our domestic violence shelter serves several of those counties.
Yes.
There are less than 60 shelters. We advocate for policy change, so victims.
Use the mic.
You can use the mic if you like.
So victims can understand their rights. We work with local law enforcement. We do education and presentations to empower victims, as well as our first responders, to understand that domestic violence is a crime. There is no need for children and adults who are experiencing it as a victim to leave the safety of their home. But thankfully, we do have shelters, and it does take a community of stakeholders to raise awareness and to be the voice for victims, survivors, and those organizations that serve them.
Thank you very much, and we have lit up the front of City Hall with purple, so if you see purple around town, that is the color that's chosen for domestic violence. So if y'all want to come forward, okay, come on.
I should have got dressed up.
And our next proclamation is a happy one. We are so happy that we have developed the partnership we have with our university system. So today, we are going to proclaim that October 19th is going to be University of West Georgia Day in Carrollton. So we're very excited about that, and we have Dr. Munga here to accept. So I will read it, and then we'll all get to go down again and get another picture made. University of West Georgia Day, October 19th, 2024. Whereas the University of West Georgia and the City of Carrollton share a commitment to the community, building and placemaking to create mutual beneficial opportunities for its citizenry. Whereas UWG and the City of Carrollton work hand in hand to nurture a positive university town environment. Whereas UWG and the City of Carrollton are committed to nurturing a positive and collaborative relationship with one another. And whereas UWG and the City of Carrollton collaborate to promote programs and events that will benefit the West Georgia community. Whereas UWG and the City of Carrollton have collaborated on several key partnerships, including working with the community partners to enhance the Maple Street corridor. Whereas UWG provides an integral economic impact to the West Georgia community, contributing more than $614.5 million to the region's economy during the state's 2023 fiscal year. Whereas UWG students participate in jobs and internship with many city businesses and provide a pool of student talent for our local economy. Whereas UWG participates in key partnerships with local businesses, including Southwire, Tanner Health System, SMI, as well as fosters relationships with the local Chamber of Commerce. Whereas the University of West Georgia celebrates homecoming this year on Saturday, October 19th, 2024, whereas the University of West Georgia community celebrates UWG's historic move to the Division I athletics this year, made possible through the partnership between the community, business, and the university. And whereas the University of West Georgia proudly announcing the opening of the Dr. James Earl Perry College of Mathematics, Computing, and Science and the College of Humanities, Arts, and Social Science. Therefore, the City of Carrollton Mayor and Council will recognize October 19th, 2024 as UWG Day in the City of Carrollton as a testament to the University of West Georgia and their positive impact on the City of Carrollton. Thank you. Dr. Munger, you want to come up and receive this?
Just wanted to say, Mayor Kaysen, council members, just wanted to thank you for this proclamation. I want to express my sincere appreciation, gratitude for this proclamation. This is only a formal statement of the support that the University of West Georgia receives from you every single day. I have personally experienced that support in my short time here, and I'm really grateful for that, because we know that when students, faculty, and staff come to the University of West Georgia, they're not only coming to UWG, they're coming to Carrollton. And so you are a big reason we are able to attract the best and brightest to this place. And so we're really grateful for that partnership on behalf of all our students, faculty, and staff. Thank you for this proclamation, and since you have proclaimed October 19 as our day, I think it's incumbent upon all of you to come and visit us for the game, which is, again, shorter. So we hope to see all of you there, and I promise you we'll win this time. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Dr. Munger. Okay, our next item on the agenda is a site plan for Carrollton 166 bypass. It's an amendment, and the applicant is Culpeper Development.
Yes, the first zoning item on your agenda is a site plan amendment for a plan development, a mixed-use plan development. The request is for a 54.23 acre tract located off of the Highway 166 bypass. The project originally called for 330 units of apartments and approximately 20 acres of commercial. They are requesting an amendment to that plan to include, again, 330 units of apartments and approximately 10 acres of commercial. The Planning Commission reviewed this request during their September meeting, and they made a recommendation to approve with the following conditions. The sidewalk requirement along the Highway 166 bypass shall be waived. However, internal sidewalk shall be installed within the development to promote connectivity. Proposed commercial buildings shall provide building facades facing the bypass. And then the third one, the number of three-bedroom units shall be limited to 10% or less of the total number of residential units. I do believe the applicants here. If you have any questions.
Brian Hatcher with Cadre Engineering, civil engineer for this project. Just kind of a brief how we got here. Last year, we came and presented the plan for this development, and this is the original that had the 330 apartment units tucked over here in this corner with retail out parcels down the front and a large retail pad in the middle. Upon getting approval last year through this, we started doing some site-specific research, whether it be geotechnical, topographic, environmental kind of issues. And so what we started working through was there's a stream on site that runs through there. So to avoid getting into that, leaving that natural as we could, we started relooking at how some of the layout went. And so what we did is there's a ridge that runs down through here. So we tucked the apartments on that ridge and ended up with 7 retail out parcels in the front. This one had original 6 retail out parcels, including the large one, so 5 smaller ones and a large one. We ended up with 7 that were 1 to 2 acres, the largest one being about 3 shown on that map. What you're looking at is the yellow is what's shown as apartments on these 2 maps. And then what you're looking, green is common area, and then the blue is the retail. There is the apartment developers here. Brad's here for the retail side. I think they want to speak a little bit of kind of some of the ideas that came into this process of getting here today. But as a quick technical rundown based on what we presented last time to council, those are really the differences for this site plan amendment of what was previously approved.
Okay.
Greg Power, Imperium Development. I am the apartment developer. I feel like the perception of this vote has yes means apartments are coming and no to the site amendment means the apartments are not coming. I'm here to set the record straight. We're ready to move forward regardless if this site plan amendment gets approved or doesn't get approved. The demand is there for the multifamily, and our vision hasn't changed. Our commitment to quality hasn't changed. Our commitment to a safe and secure housing option, which the housing study, proves that Carrollton needs more diversification of housing. What this vote is about is voting for a better plan. Our vision is to attract and retain residents, and our community is one that we want our employers, like the hospital and Southwire, to use that as a tool to attract and retain employees. And by doing that, this is a better plan. This is a better plan that creates a sense of community. This is a better plan that has more preservation of green space. This is a plan that creates more sit-down restaurants than it does have fast food restaurants. And so, just to be clear, the multifamily is ready to go, whether you guys vote the site amendment for or against it. But I would encourage you to vote for it because this is about creating a better plan that aligns the interests of, I think, what the council wants ultimately, and what planning wants ultimately, and what we want. We want to create a community that we're all proud of, not just 7 out parcels along the bypass with a bunch of fast food.
Okay.
I'll speak a little bit as to how we got here. When we did draw the first plan, we originally did want a grocery store, and we sought after that very hard. We got Publix to drive to Carrollton and look at the site, their head of real estate from Florida, and he liked the site. But he sent it to pre-committee in January of this year, and they said it's ultimately too close to the other Publix. All the other factors that were for the site in Publix's eyes couldn't overcome the fact it was 3.5 miles away. And they said they just can't do that in a town the size of Carrollton. We then approached Lidl's. Unbeknownst to us at the time, Lidl's was going through some serious problems. Their real estate department, tire department has been fired. And so they're not really even looking at new properties right now. And then we reached out to Walmart Neighborhood Market, who said that they were looking in Carrollton. And they just needed a site so they could run all their demographics. So we sent them our site. We initially got good feedback, and then I got an email from Walmart Neighborhood Market showing me what every grocery store in Carrollton does, numbers for the year. And they just said, for us to survive in Carrollton, we would have to put 1 or 2 competitors out of business. They're like, we can't go to a town hoping. We put 2 grocery stores out of business. So with all that said, we're working with Texas Roadhouse and sit-down restaurants on the front who obviously weren't pleased when Publix went away. So we approached the restaurants and said, hey, what's the path forward? How do we make sure you guys wind up on these out parcels? And we asked if moving the apartments over would help. And Texas Roadhouse specifically said, yes, we think that would help tremendously. So things kind of went quiet after Publix turned it down. Once we redrew that site plan and sent out marketing flyers and started remarketing the property, we had more interest from restaurants. We're working with several different restaurants now, in addition to Texas Roadhouse, and we believe that is in the direct result of moving the apartments over so their customers can just walk to their stores. It also created a second row of out parcels that will be more like a small shop, multi-tenant. There will be some mix of national and local retail, so when you're driving through there, it'll look like a little bit of a parkway. So once the Publix went away, we thought that that was the best plan forward because we have the same vision as you guys. Good quality restaurants that Carrollton wants and not more McDonald's and Burger Kings, even though those are fine places. That's kind of not what we were looking to do here. So that's kind of how we got from the first site plan to the one you see now.
Can we see the 2 site plans side by side? I couldn't see both of them at the same time. Right. Yeah, so the commercial space has been cut by, about half. And, so, I think part of the reason this got passed the first time, and I'm just being honest with you, is because of the amount of commercial space that was presented originally and the fact that there would be an anchor because there's nothing out there right now. There's no commercial development. And commercial development would, I think, what we would like to see is more commercial development on the bypass. If we were going to have any kind of development at all, that we would want to see more than just a 10-acre tract out of a 54-acre or 55-acre tract developed commercially. The sit-down restaurants that you have proposed on the new plan could easily fit on the old plan, for 3 spaces, 3 sit-down restaurant spaces or 4 could easily. So I don't really see that much as a change as far as attracting restaurants to that area.
For what they led me to, or what they told me, they didn't want to go there with a 10-acre field behind them and not know if there was going to be a big box coming or not.
Right.
They were more comfortable with knowing that they were going to have customers.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
That's one of the reasons we made the move.
Right, yeah. Well, I'm just concerned about, you know, the lack of commercial space available on that site. And so that's kind of where I am.
And we
on it.
tried to, we tried everything to figure out how to get big boxes back there. And big box retail, I mean, I don't remember when the last big box has been built in Carrollton. It's very fickle. Every once in a while, you hear that people like Burlington Coat Factory and all these big boxes and Kohl's are revving up again, and they're gonna go build stores, and then as soon as the wind blows a different way in the economy, they completely pull the plug on everything.
Yeah.
One time, we were talking to Kohl's about this, and they seemed interested, and after the interest rates went up, I called them, and they said that we're not doing anything right now. So, you know, I think the big boxes have really, other than grocery stores, have really struggled ever since 2008 to give themselves a presence. And so once we, you know, ran out of focus with a few grocery stores, I think we realized it was going to be a hard road from there, and we didn't know how long that 10 acres would sit there.
Well, I mean, how many contracts do you have with commercial spaces being filled on this proposed plan
We have a
tonight?
lease from Texas Roadhouse. We have an LOI from Miller's Ale House, and we're awaiting an LOI from City Barbecue. Now, those are just LOIs, obviously. It takes a lot to get a deal closed from that point, but that's the kind of interest we got when we remarketed it with the apartments moved over there after everybody knew the public got there.
Yeah.
Well, Brad, if you use the plan that you've proposed, taking out the big box store, if you got a big box store, you've eliminated the option of putting it out there. Have you not?
I don't have any confidence in the big boxes that I talk to, that if they did want to come to Carrollton, or if they do want to do stores, the only other person who expressed any interest in Carrollton was Academy Sports, and they plainly said they want to be where they can see Lowe's and Walmart. That's what they try to follow and go over there. So, you know, our fear was, and what most likely would have happened is, you know, 5 or 6 years from now, there would still be 10 acres there of us trying to find a big box to put on. And we didn't want that to impact the front of the project. Because, you know, Texas Roadhouse is real. There's 5 items in their lease. We had an hour-long phone call Monday that are contingent upon this getting approved. If this doesn't get approved, we've got to go revisit some things with Texas Roadhouse now.
What was
I
that?
don't know that that means that they're going to walk away. Oh, sorry. We did a lease wrap-up with Texas Roadhouse on Monday. We were on the phone for an hour with their attorney. There are 5 items in their lease that we haven't signed the lease yet because they're contingent upon seeing the outcome of this meeting. You know what I mean? If we get turned down, I don't know that Texas Roadhouse is going to go away, but I know they want to have another phone call because, like I said, they had a lot of input on us moving the apartments over there. That was kind of a reaction to say, hey, what can we do to keep the front of the project looking like there was going to be a Publix there that everybody wanted. So that was their feedback.
So to get to the Texas Roadhouse, people are going to have to come in and then drive between the apartments and the smaller parcels to get down to the Texas Roadhouse?
When you come through the light, and then there's a road that bisects all of these parcels, so you can come in and take a left, and it would be in one of these four. You enter from the back, so you come in, there's a road that runs right here,
Oh, okay.
because there's a second access to the apartments for the fire department, they have to have 2 accesses basically.
And is that the only access then to the apartments?
No, ma'am, there's one in the back. So you'll go into the apartments this way would be the main entrance to the
Oh, okay.
apartments. But the fire department, because it's over 200 units, has to have 2 separated by a certain distance.
Right.
So they have one here and one here.
And the roundabout was at the request of the Plunketts. They wanted something at the back of the project that they still have 100 acres back there. Whenever that came to fruition, that it was easy to tie in with ours, and then we would have an access point up there for that too.
Okay.
Well, I'm a little confused about why Texas Roadhouse would care about the configuration of the apartments, about whether they came or not. I understand and if you don't mind putting the other one back up there, I understand the 10-acre field, scenario, but I'd just prefer to see the possibility remain open for an anchor for that area, because this might only be 55 acres right now, but the hope was that we would be spurring other activity on the bypass, and it can't all be apartments and restaurants. There needs to be some retail space out there somewhere, and that's what we were hoping when this was proposed to us initially, that's what we were going to get. We were going to get some retail space. We were going to allow some apartments to be built, because there's a lot of resistance to having apartments built, and that we might gain a few restaurants that we don't currently have. But to just give up on 10 acres of retail space right there, I've just got some concerns about it.
I think something else to note, and I mentioned it very briefly, but can you take it off? Fancy now. I think I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but the stream I mentioned runs through here.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to end up losing those two as we got the environmental studies. And so you start ending up, because it starts creeping, it starts wanting to creep that way to
Well,
stay out
it looks
of
like some of the it looks like some of the apartments that were proposed originally are also in the stream bed.
You've kind of got a swath right in here, so you start creeping everything that
So
way.
part of this could be that under the old proposal, you can't get 330 units in there.
We had already made a swap, because we didn't change the density of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Through planning and zoning, we didn't change the property lines or the density. We were allowed to do a swap down there with the apartments and put them on the front, to the right of that stream, and then put two more out parcels back in front of the Publix there before we knew the Publix was going away. So that was an administrative.
Okay, you said through planning and zoning.
So the first request was less than a 10% change in what they were wanting to do, and we approved that administratively because it's the same number of units and it didn't change much. But this, doing away with the big box, was well over a 10% change in the site plan. It's why they had to come back through planning and zoning.
Yeah, with these planned developments, because it's a binding site plan, once they get in engineering, we'll let them shift buildings
Sure.
here and there. If it changes the plan substantially, we may come back before you guys for an amendment. But it wasn't enough of a change.
So am I understanding now that there'll be apartments right down on the bypass?
No.
They're not
Okay.
on the bypass.
No, and actually in this plan, I'll set this one down. Actually, in this plan, it actually is going to allow us to have this portion where the stream is and around the end stay wooded. So really the only apartments you would more than likely see here would be this portion over here, because whereas this plan, we were going to go off down the hill toward the pond and wetland area, we were going to clear a pretty good bit down in here.
But you say you were going to lose two of the commercial spaces on the original plan?
We are, but we would just expand down in here. This plan allowed us to keep this portion pretty much undisturbed, is kind of the balance we were teetering with. Could we cram 330 units in just this portion? Yes. Would I probably take all the trees out from here up? Yes. This plan lets me leave basically that line pretty much wooded toward the bypass.
Now, how many commercial properties were on that one, not
There's-
counting the big box
There's
stores?
5 on this one.
Okay, and so we've
There's-
got Well, we've
7
actually-
on that one.
Yeah, you've actually eliminated the big box, but you've gained 2 commercial possibilities.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I've just got one. I don't have a vote, obviously, but I do have a question. The gentleman there was emphatic that if we do this plan, we're gonna get fast food, and if we do that plan, we're not. So are y'all willing to guarantee that if that plan's approved, there will be no fast food restaurants in those out parcels?
I mean, I can't guarantee that. That would be impossible because, I mean, just like with the Publix, if everybody says no, you know, then, or if the economy takes a turn, and I mean, just, that's what happened with Publix. And I mean, some of these guys in the beginning, the interest rates going up, they got less aggressive. So I don't think I could guarantee that, but I can tell you the spirit of moving the apartments over was to deliver what we initially said we would deliver, and that is absolutely still our goal. And we're working with 4 or 5 different restaurants right now that are sit-down restaurants to try to make that happen. Now, I can't guarantee you that all of them are going to say, yes, we want to come to Carrollton, but we are exhaustively working with people like Walk-Ons and La Parelia and people of that nature to try to get these things filled up the right way.
Any other questions?
I would just add that it would certainly be nice to have some commercial development on the bypass, I don't think there's any that I'm aware of, instead of everything having to be in the same usual spot, which we all drive that same street and we all struggle to go to those same stores. And, at times of the year, it's not real fun. So I don't know, I would love to see some quality restaurants right there. I know we need apartments, and I see it was passed by our Planning and Zoning Commission by a unanimous vote. So I'm thinking they felt probably pretty good about it.
Okay. All right, at this time, if there's no more questions or, sorry. Oh, yeah, okay. Is there anybody here to speak in opposition of this? Okay. Hearing none, at this time, I will call for a vote.
I'd make a motion, we approve it.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Ooh. Okay, so we have a tie. All right, my position on this, Brad, is that, I guess, the adamancy that you are going to build them whether we approve this or not. So I guess my question is, if you're going to build them anyway, which site plan are you going to use? Okay, come back up to the mic.
If this one gets approved, this is the one we absolutely want to use. But if it doesn't, it'll just revert back to the original site plan that was approved in the initial zoning process.
And so your commitment to us is that you're going to leave that wooded and you won't be able to see the apartments from the bypass?
Or at least that end of it.
Yeah, at least that, I mean, yes. The engineer could probably answer that more technically than me, if whether you'll be able to see them or not. I don't think you'll.
This plan definitively has less disturbed area.
Oh, yeah, definitively less disturbed area. Stream to the left, they'll be in the trees. Now, the open field to where the rest of them are sitting, that's the open field today. Of course, you're gonna see them sitting behind you. But stream to the left, no. We can't disturb 50 feet from the stream, so we're not gonna go down the hill and chase it. Our pond's actually in the back now, whereas in the original one, it was in front. So we actually flip-flops disturbance all to the back.
The stream actually runs, show me the stream on the, okay. All right, so,
It starts right at the H, so it runs.
The green spaces are the same, are they not?
They're a little different, but not a lot different, so it kind of runs in this general vicinity.
Right. So show me where the stream is on the original drawing.
Right there.
If I had topo on there, let's see.
Doesn't it run through some of those apartment buildings?
It does.
Okay.
It runs.
That's why we got the administrative
Right.
swap.
That's
Yep.
right.
So where are those apartments going to go on the original design? You can't build by the exact original design, so you're going to have to change the design and move some of those apartments. Are they not going to come down?
Yes, they would be closer to the bypass because we would have to flip them down to where the usable land was.
And the stream's going to be around this area. So you'd have 50 feet on both sides. So this plan takes into account basically all of this stays. There's just not topo.
So basically what you're saying, you can't really build that plan anyway.
It wouldn't be exactly that plan, no. It would be the areas of the uses and the number of apartments would be the same. That would be what the 10% would be.
That's correct. Before they lost the anchor, they come back to us with a administrative variance. It wasn't large, but it did take the stream into consideration after they did their topo and all the studies and that they had done out there. So it did change a little bit, and it would shift towards the bypass a little more. I think they'll end up losing one of those other out parcels to be able to get the apartments in there probably because of the stream. But it wasn't a large change. It was just a kind of a rotation and bring them forward. And then they lost the anchor, and that's when they come back with this large amendment.
That's correct.
Well, I just wish we had more concrete commitment from the sit-down restaurants. If we,
We have a Texas Roadhouse lease here, and like I said, I don't know what is going to happen if it doesn't get passed, but based on our call Monday, the lease is right there and it's ready to sign. And when I call them in the morning and say we got approved, they're executing the lease. And one of the reasons we're fighting so hard for Texas Roadhouse is they are essentially an anchor. They do $15 million a year, I think, in Hiram. They're the #1 visited restaurant, sit-down chain restaurant in the Southeast. Jim and Nick's actually told me, their broker did, that they have stopped going only on grocery store pads, and they will now go beside Texas Roadhouse because their numbers do so good beside them. So the reason we have fought so hard to keep them and moved the apartments and done all this is because at this point they are our anchor, and you know, they are the ones that other restaurants are looking at and saying, if they're going there, then we're interested. So we think they are very crucial to the deal.
I think the gentleman that is the apartment developer wants to address the council.
Oh, I'm sorry.
May I, I know I need to be invited to speak, but
Well, I hadn't voted.
Our apartment developer just said that he thinks that the plan we are currently operating on will be such a better outcome. He's willing to drop 30 units from the project to help the density for the retail that we're losing.
I don't know what the problem is. I don't like it.
At this time, we've gotten out of order in a couple of the processes, so we need to speak with our attorney. We're going to step outside, and then we'll be right back.
Okay, at this time, we're going to defer to our city attorney as the position of where the motion is and where it stands at this time.
Excuse me, there was a motion made to approve the modification of the site plan. There were 2 votes in favor. There were 2 votes against it, and at that point, the vote was complete, in my opinion. There was no ability under Robert's Rules of Order to continue with further discussion. Therefore, the motion would stand as having failed for lack of an affirmative vote.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Smith. So do y'all understand now that it reverts back to the original plan?
Yeah, I was a little confused though, because last time there was a tie and there was a tiebreaker.
The last time,
When we went to city council, it was split 2-2 for the tiebreaker, right?
yeah, but I think because we we went back into discussion, that was because it had already failed.
The last time, the mayor voted immediately after the motion, so it was an effective vote. But here, under Robert's Rules of Order, a vote has to be completed after a motion's been made and the vote has begun.
Okay. The next item on our agenda is an annexation and rezoning request of 821 Horsley Mill Road.
Yes, the second zoning item on your agenda this evening is an annexation and rezoning request from Carroll County R3 to a residential plan development. This tract is approximately 1 acre, and it's located at 821 Horsley Mill Road. This property would be folded into an existing residential plan development and would be included in the subdivision that is currently under construction. The Planning Commission reviewed this request during their September meeting, and they voted unanimously to approve the request. I do believe the applicant is here if you have any questions.
Okay, I've read before the outline of the rezoning request, but before you speak, Mr. Lee, let me read it one more time. No person in attendance shall speak unless formally recognized. Upon rising to speak, each person recognized shall state their name and home address. Speakers must not employ tactics of intimidation, profanity, or threats of violence in their commitments. All comments shall be directed to the mayor and council, not to the petitioner or those in opposition. In accordance with Georgia law, each side, not each individual, is allowed 10 total minutes of public input. This means that all those speaking in favor of the request have a total of 10 minutes, and all those speaking in opposition of the request have a total of 10 minutes. Time devoted to the question and answer and answers that the elected officials may ask should not be counted against any time limitations. Since we have limited time, please try to avoid restating what another may have already stated. The applicant shall be allowed to speak first in order to present the application. Others may then speak, indicating first their support for or opposition of the application. The applicant will then be allowed time for rebuttal. Rebuttal must be limited to the points or issue raised by the opponents to the application at the hearing. Okay, we'll let you proceed.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for, sorry, the last one you had was so tough. I hope ours is not. This is in addition to the development we had approved last year. We're in the process of developing this. Mr. Harden, that owns the acre and the house, was here and spoke in favor of it a year ago when we came before you. We have since made an arrangement with him to purchase his house, and really in exchange, he bought 6 acres across the street, across Horsley Mill, and we're in the process of building him a house, and we'll tear his down. So it was an even trade. He's come out smelling like a rose, really. He's doing well, and we add an additional 8 lots to the development.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Lee. Is there anyone here to speak in opposition of this? Okay, hearing none. Do I have a motion?
So, go ahead.
So moved.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none, motion carries. I'm sorry? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. The next rezoning request is at 265 Abbey Lane, off Abbey Lane, from RM to RM20 to a residential plan development, and the applicant is Tritt Quality Homes.
Yes, ma'am. Mayor Kaysen, at this time, staff recommends or requests that this item be tabled for 1 month. We are currently working with the applicant in the neighborhood, and we just want to make sure that we put forward the best project possible.
Okay? Do I have a motion to table?
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none, motion carries. The next item we have on the agenda is a rezoning request located off Shady Grove Road, Stewart Street, and Northside Drive from ER3 and C2 to RM residential multifamily, and the applicant is Brian Preston.
Yes. This particular request is for a 22.71 acre tract. It is currently zoned 3 separate zoning designations within the city. The applicant is actually requesting a rezoning to RM, which is residential multifamily. However, they would like to construct a single-family detached subdivision with 59 site-built detached homes on lots that would be accessed off of Shady Grove Road, so there would be no access off of Northside Drive. I do have in front of you, you have a set of consolidated conditions that consist of the Planning Commission conditions and then the conditions that we discussed in your work session. I'm going to go through some of those briefly. I'm not going to hit all of the architectural standards just because it's 2 pages worth. The applicant has seen these architectural standards. The first condition is that it is limited to 59 site-built, single-family detached homes. The second condition relates to the lift station. It has, if there is a lift station needed, it does have to be installed at the developer's expense. The third condition, we are asking for a mandatory homeowners association. The fourth condition, no more than 20% of the homes may be leased at any time, and they may only be occupied by a residential family unit with no more than 2 unrelated individuals. Number 5, each home shall have a minimum of 1,650 square feet with 2-car garages. Number 6 relates to public safety. You guys have heard a good bit about flock cameras. We are requesting that the developer install a flock camera at the entrance of that subdivision. And then the ongoing maintenance fees would be covered by the HOA. And then number 7, we are asking that an architectural control committee be established. However, I do want to strike that second sentence that the City of Carrollton appoint a member. We do want to leave that to the developer, so I do want to strike that last sentence. The remaining conditions relate to the architectural standards, and I think, Haley, do you want to put the... with the final condition relating to basically the ability for the project to move forward. And I'm going to read this one. If no land disturbance permit is issued and infrastructure completed and accepted by the city within 18 months of the rezoning approval, the property shall automatically revert to its original zoning category.
Okay.
The Planning Commission did review this request, and they did make a recommendation unanimously to approve it.
Okay. Mr. Preston here. Would you like to address the mayor and council?
Good evening, Mayor and council. Thank you so much for hearing this request. I know you guys are probably ready to get out of here, so I'll be brief. This was originally approved, 7 of the 22 acres was originally approved for 44 tiny houses. Mr. Van Pelt got that approved several years ago. It was later downzoned, and so we are asking to essentially parcel together several different parcels to get a total of 22 acres, and requesting 59 lots, single-family detached lots be developed here. I also want to point out that you will not be able to see this development from the bypass because DOT owns a strip of land there, so you actually won't be able to see this. It will be accessed off Shady Grove Road. There's a huge buffer actually behind the gas station, if you notice behind on the site plan there. All that will be undisturbed. We also know that the city does own the property behind this, and so our intentions are to develop this in such a way that it can eventually connect to if its future park area. So the amenity area will be developed in the rear of this property. We think it's a great project. We have seen all the conditions. We're not opposed to any of those. We're not here asking for any multifamily or any townhomes. This is a single-family development that we think could add a lot of value, especially on that north corridor up there.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Preston.
I got one question for you, Brian. What was the reason that y'all asked for the residential multifamily rather than going for like an R8?
Great question. So the topo is pretty challenging back there, and so we needed some of the lot. In fact, 30% of this is going to remain green space of the property. So there's a lot of power line easements, as you can see. So we needed to actually shrink down some of our lot sizes. So a typical R8 zoning is 8,000 square feet. The residential multifamily is 6,600 square feet. So we needed some of the lot sizes to shrink, essentially.
Yeah.
Also, to give you some kind of perspective, Cedar Park is 22 acres, and there's over 80 lots in there. So this is the same acreage as Cedar Park, and we are asking for 59 lots. So 20-plus lots less than that. So.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right. Is anyone here to speak in opposition of this? Okay. Hearing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Preston. Before we get to the TAD application, we have a new, I guess you would call her advisor for our youth council, and she is here with us tonight. Ms. Tara, would you stand up, Ms. Tara Lennon? She's in our recreation department, but she's going to be working with our youth council. And do you have some members here with you? Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thank you all, and we're glad you're here, and hopefully we look forward to seeing you a lot.
Y'all have gotten your money's worth tonight, haven't you?
Yeah, you did. Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm sorry. All right. The next item on the agenda is a TAD application for 415 Rome Street. Mr. Brooks?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, we're excited that, to bring forth our first TAD recommendation from the Redevelopment Authority. As you know, when we started out this venture, we put this in place to attract good redevelopment within the TAD corridor. A lot of work went into creating that TAD district. Ms. Stutter did a great job putting all that together, and just excited to have the opportunity to attract development and redevelopment within the TAD district without having to raise anybody's taxes and things of that nature, which is exactly why we did this from the beginning. Ms. Studdard has been running the point on this, and will continue to do so on all of our TAD requests. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to her. And just as a reminder, the Redevelopment Authority also serves as our TAD committee, which is a mandate from the state of Georgia, and they make the recommendations, work with the developer to get the things like they feel like it needs to be, and then with this body, we'll just vote yes or no on whether or not to give the TAD funding to the developer. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ms. Studdard.
Yes, the applicant is here, and I think he's got a very, very brief presentation for you guys. Real quickly, before he gets up, I did want to quickly go through the recommendation, the specific recommendation of the Redevelopment Authority. As David said, they are our TAD advisory committee as well. They did make a motion to basically give City Manager Brooks the ability to negotiate the TAD agreement with the property owner for 415 Rome Street with the understanding of up to $1,094,240.20 in TAD funds shall be made payable upon submittal of paid invoices based upon the following schedule and conditions. Number one, the reimbursement shall be made on an annual basis. Number 2, the annual reimbursement is limited to the tax allocation increment generated in TAD fund by this parcel up to $1.094 million, or December the 31st, 2038, whichever occurs first. 3, the completed project is in substantial conformance with the architectural renderings and budget submitted with the application, which is in your packets. Just a quick reminder on the TAD, this is a pay-as-you-go model, and what that means is the TAD increment that they are creating would be the rebate that they receive. They would not receive any additional funds over what they are directly creating in tax increment. And I do believe Mr. Kuhn is here to present.
Okay. Mr. Kuhn?
Madam Mayor, Council, thanks for having us this evening. And we're excited about this project. First off, my compliments, the city staff's been awesome to work with. Everyone's been very, very nice and very encouraging with this project. We've been working in Carrollton for some time now. We actually took on the project on the square, on Adamson Square, where Butter Dutter and June and Gray now reside. And so looking to expand on that here, and we have a few pictures of kind of the before and after, what we're looking to do on the site. So this is actually one of the largest properties downtown. It's about 3 acres. As you may have seen by driving by it, it needs a little bit of TLC. Hasn't been addressed in some time. So we're looking to basically do a complete overhaul of the site, between redoing the parking lot, the facade, signage, new landscaping, lighting in the parking lots, and also allow a budget to help attract retailers with TI allowances and whatnot that's kind of customary in the industry. We've retained a architect actually out of, you guys mentioned the hurricane, they're actually out of Asheville. So hopefully they doing okay and up and running soon, but they've put together some very nice renderings of what they envisioned. Has a nice artistic upscale vibe, and looking to transform this from, right now we have 3 different facades. This is actually the oldest retail center in the city of Carrollton. There's an old Sears store, old Five and Dime store here back in the day, and so looking to reinvent what's there, attract some new life to the center. We're using a product called Vintage Wood, which is a very high quality, kind of hardy board, but kind of has a wood look to it, but also very durable. Have some uniformity in the facade, new seating areas outside. So really just a full revamp of the center. We're excited about the program. Gives us the ability to do items we would not otherwise be able to otherwise. And here's a top-down view of the site. So it's essentially a whole city block. So I'd throw it out there. I think it's probably about the same square footage as, say, 2 of the quadrants of the square. So hopefully this will impact that entire northern section of downtown, really bring development up that entire way. We love that for our sake and for everyone's sake around us as well. I think we have in here just a quick bullet point list of what we're looking to do, but I think I touched on most of those items. So we're ready to go. We've pretty much finalized our plans. I think this was one of the last items in the process. I'm here for any questions, but I do appreciate everyone's time. I know we've been here for a few minutes, so I won't keep you any longer, but thanks again.
All right, thank you. All right, do I have a motion to approve? Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none, motion carries. Congratulations, Mr. Coon. Okay, our next item on the agenda is board appointment for Planning Commission.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. At this time, we don't have a name to submit. We talked about it at the work session. We haven't been able to secure someone, and so we would value y'all's input as well. As we pointed out, we currently have no representation from wards 1 and 2. We would like to get representation from throughout the city. It's not a requirement, but if we could kind of rack our brains and try to come up with a couple of names that we might could narrow it down at our next work sessions, that would be great.
All right. Okay, the next item on our agenda is the appointment of Recreation Commission.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is from Director John Lang, Miss Tanita Teagle, who has fulfilled her 2 terms, and Miss Sarah Worley, who has fulfilled her 2 terms. They're rolling off. They have submitted Miss Tara Coverson and Miss Erin Riggins for appointment. Miss Coverson's Carrollton resident, works for Delta Airlines. She and her husband, they have 2 children who are actively involved in our program. They feel like she would be a great and valuable resource for our department. Miss Riggins is a lifelong Carrollton resident. She's a teacher at Carrollton Elementary School. Her and her husband Don have 6 children. They've been active in every facet of the department, and they feel that her addition to this commission would be a huge asset for our department as well. So they're respectfully requesting that you guys approve those 2 submissions tonight.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, do I have a second? Second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none,